Welcome back, everybody, to Epic Land 40. My name is Hanno, and I'm joined by the Sneaky.
Oh, that is a charming introduction from yourself there. Thank you kindly. But welcome aboard. It's great to have you here as well. We're going to be taking you through the 7th matchup of the day here on the A stream.
The last one of the group stage.
The last one of the group stage before we get into our best of threes.
Ooh.
So, yeah, it's exciting. It's genetexe versus Chucklestorm. And as you said, Chucklestorm, you've got a particular affiliation with.
I have. There's a few players in there that I'm keeping my eyes on. There's in fact, they've got 2 Frosties in that team. 2 people with the same name, so that's slightly confusing. We've also got a sheep that's appeared. No, yeah, so we've got
I didn't know we were in Wales.
Yeah, you didn't know it. I'm not going to try an accent there. Yeah, we've got the 2 Frosties. So, one of the Frosties know him quite well. I played a team with him quite a while. This is his first time really in a try-hard LAN team.
Sure.
Well, I say try-hard, you know, like a competent LAN team. When I went to LAN with him, it was not competent. But he's a really, really strong player. Not going to be using the AWP on this LAN. That's going to be going over, obviously, to Godku, who's the IGL captain of this team. A very familiar face, I would say, to most people in the CS scene. Godku's obviously captaining the team. And then you've also got Urob, who had a good run to 9th, 12th a couple LANs ago. I can't remember. I think they played similar last LAN as well.
Sure.
But Rob, Godku have been a good pairing the last few LANs. Frost is a sick addition. I think they've also got Jared and obviously the other Frosty. Yeah, so it's a decent lineup. Oh, you've even written them down very politely for us here. Whereas the genetic side, there's probably some more familiar names to most people with like Trouto, Beamez, Gil, Kika, but they did just get 30-0'd by Raptors this morning.
That's a rough one.
The Chucklestorm Strikers, I believe, got 7 rounds on Raptors. So in terms of like looking at the seeds here, yes, genetexe is seeded above, but Chucklestorm has shown a little bit. I think they've got a better round difference, better performance against Raptors. So in terms of the group, I don't know. I feel like this is the big game to decide who goes to upper bracket, right? So it's important to see how this one pans out.
I mean, I have one really important question before we go in. Which one is a snowman and which one is a tiger?
Well, I mean, I guess we'll find out throughout the course of this game because snowmen aren't very lethal. And
I'm an absolute melt for even asking the question in the first place.
I love that question. Thank you.
I do try.
We'll give one of them the honour of being Tony the Tiger, Tony the Tiger, and one of them the honour of being a useless snowman, a pile of water, who by the end of the LAN would have melted anyway. So he's pretty useless.
On that note, we do have the vetoes ready. See where Tony the Top Fragger gets
Tony the Top Fragger.
As we remove Inferno, Vertigo, and we end up on Nuke. You know what?
That's
I'm excited.
I can tell you this. Frosty was learning the Nuke outside smokes this morning. So if any of them miss, we know exactly who to blame.
Right, good to know. There is a slight difference. Well, actually, there's a pretty big difference in a lot of the lineups of the outside smokes on Nuke now. So make sure you re-affiliate yourselves with those at home. As, if you go for the old lineups, you're probably going to be smoking dark and off the map and whatnot. But I like Nuke. It's a new map for me, personally. I've had 3 different maps today, so it's a nice, refreshing view of the UK scene. And I think it's going to be an entertaining debacle, especially with whoever starts on that CT side. Yes,
I mean, the thing that I quite like about Nuke at the moment is that because of a lot of the grenade changes, as you alluded to, a lot of the executes have become quite different. Things like finding that upper hut molly. People have had to find new lineups, find adjustments. The outside smokes, there's a little bit of variation in it now because of the difference in the smoke and how they spread and how large they are comparatively to Global Offensive. There is a little bit of variation in how people throw it, and obviously, because HE nades can now essentially render smokes useless for a good couple of seconds, trying to cross to secret, if there's a couple of CTs prepared with HEs, can be really difficult. You can, A, get naded down to half HP, and B, there's 2 people with A1Ss taking aim. So that outside play, a lot less safe here on Nuke. It's not sort of a guaranteed we're going to get secret now.
And arguably that makes the map even more CT-sided at times.
Yes.
Especially if you have a really good outside player. I mean, I'm not talking like Nico here, but someone who's competent enough to know when to push, measure their utility usage, and just be fluid in their outside positioning. If you can have a player who's really solid on those 3 grounds, it's so difficult to take spaces. The T side as well, if you're looking over towards ramp, you could say because of the AWP nerf, it gets a little bit easier to overwhelm an AWPer, but then again, you are still running a straight line at them for the most part, so it's still a very effective weapon.
I believe Godku was talking about earlier how they're playing on. Godku is the rotate player, so more that sort of heaven and then helping out ramp and outside. So that AWP is going to be moving around quite a bit, although they have been saying that they're quite keen to utilise everyone on the AWP because Urob very much a main AWPer on the university teams that he was on in previous years and has done it on various ESEA teams over the last couple of months. Been playing that main AWP role. Obviously, Goku's taking it here, but I think they're happy to move it outside, keep it towards ramp, whatever they need to respond to these situations. And maybe we'll see the double AWP come out here on Nuke. I don't know. There's not a lot of economy for the CT side at the moment, so the double AWP is getting rarer and rarer and may go extinct by the time CS2 majors roll around. But it could come out with a strong CT side half. You know, first 3 rounds in a row, maybe build that economy enough. It could happen.
No, I do look a bit of fluidity in my AWPing as well. It's nice to see, again, a solid rotate player. And just looking at these players alone, though, I reckon with the puggy factor you could throw in, because these guys, all of them, I don't see a guy here who's not a solid aimer. And we saw in the previous matchup of Overpass a 13-3, where it was a 10-2 T-half for the likes of Granny's Knockers, but good. They just demolished on that T side. Coming onto CT, there was nothing for their opponents to stand on. So maybe throwing in that puggy aspect makes the CT side of maps a little bit more difficult to defend because you don't quite know what they're going to throw at you other than pace, which is often very hard to adapt to because of Nuke's rotation patterns. Yeah,
I mean, we can only really wait and see what's going to be coming out. I don't know how much genetexe and Chucklestorm have really been able to practice. I know Chucklestorm's, from talking to the players, haven't done a huge amount of practice necessarily, although clearly Nuke being the map picked, hopefully these teams this is the middle ground for what these teams are prepared for. And it is also a map that, with the changes as well to sound and stuff, it's still not quite as easy to tell what's going on around you.
Nuke and Vertigo right now are
a little bit tricksy,
pain.
aren't they? Yeah. So I'm interested to see how players deal with that, and if we catch anyone getting completely caught out unawares from those sound cues. It's also the LAN environment, so there's always the idea of, if you get down secret and then you can get into control, you can always scream really loud, and then no one will hear you break the windows.
That's very true.
I mean, these are old. Everyone knows about these. I've seen them LAN and LAN again. So I'm looking forward to someone bringing that strat out at some point, surely.
Yeah, I mean, that would be... If we see a round 1 off the back of that, that would be sensational. So to all of you people out there with lungs clearly better than mine, just yell at the top of your voices when you want to go for a B execute.
Exactly.
That's a wild.
No one hears you break the glass, and then I mean it's the LAN buff. It's the game changes so much when you play it on LAN. The sound is quite important, and you can't hear a thing.
Have you been able to actually play any CS2 yourself whilst you've been here, or?
No, not while I've been here, but I've been playing quite a bit of CS2 at home, and I've been enjoying it. But I've been banning Nuke every single Premier game because I'm not playing it. But I'm still looking forward to seeing how they play it.
I've not won a single Vertigo in CS2 yet. I've played it 9 times, and I'm 0-9 on Vertigo.
Have you considered banning Vertigo?
It hurts. Yeah, no, I have considered banning it, but, you know, the drive to just want to win that one map. And I'm not going to blame the sound cues for everything, but they don't help. It also doesn't help that I play with no hands sometimes, but...
But Vertigo is an incredible map. I'm a big fan of it.
I like rushing A and then rushing A again.
And then rushing mids.
You know what? That's one thing I don't see a lot of teams do. We need to see a lot more mid presence on Vertigos, especially on this LAN. We've not really had all that many Vertigos so far.
No, there's not been much.
Which is a shame. It used to be such a staple of the UK scene.
I mean, you think back to the ITB Viperio days of the recent RMR. All they were playing was Vertigo.
So
and it's how
Cypher
ITB got
versus
so far.
Zywoo,
I know. It's incredible to see the UK talent on Vertigo. And yeah, we sort of lost that.
Man, it's incredible to see them chasing the bag as well. TSM,
wow.
Woo, my favourite team.
Wow.
They're doing really well in the tier 4 scene at the moment.
But what about the caches? Volt let us down there. That was outrageous. UK versus Australia, and Volt couldn't do it. I mean,
he was not up
I
to
think
the
I
task.
mentioned it on the stream before, but I'm just
Disgraceful.
After he's absolutely dominated the UK university scene, he's dominated the RMR and then the major, moved to Game Legion, and then doesn't go and win the cashes, the only one that's actually important.
No, but it is quite fun seeing Snacks now IGL for Game Legion. That was a very unexpected move. I quite liked Nealon on Game Legion myself, and then I love Snacks. I'm a huge classic VP fan. I love Polish CS, even if they are the most overtime-inducing sides known to man. Like, they're great fun to watch. And Neo, also a fellow Pole, winning with FaZe Clan at the most recent CS2 event in Sydney. I feel like our UK scene has a bit of catching up to do now that our de facto best team has been split into many bits and pieces. But I think Volt, probably the front runner at the moment in terms of UK players on higher caliber teams. It'd be great to see him continue improving.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's always LVM was I think there was an article put out by UKCS maybe last night or this morning talking about how LVM was saying there's potential for a UK player to appear on the Game Legion Academy team. So you know, maybe there are more opportunities opening up for some of the UK talents that are around potentially. Well, I mean, vacancies now playing for what's their name? Is it Entropic Academy or is it
Entropic? Did you say Entropic?
I think it's Entropic Academy, isn't it?
Entropic Prague? Is that the name of their academy team?
I'm not sure, but there's definitely there's more presence. You know, the last of 2 or 3 years.
as well has been picked up by another squad. They did lose Rolf to Godsent last night or so.
They sort of announced Rolf, and then
six days later,
it was quite quick. That was very hilarious. But I mean, the UK scene is only on the up, and we've got 32 teams here at Epic 40. So
which is wild.
Which is crazy. I mean, any more, and our admins would have been really annoyed because they've had to run extra rounds of groups or something. But that's the perfect number, and it just shows there's a lot of interest in UKCS.
It just proves that we are the least dead game, because Overwatch, they're 5 teams, they're having a great time.
Valorant's got like 20 or something, or 15, I can't remember.
That's actually quite impressive, given the decrease in prize pool. So I'll give you that one, boys, fair enough.
Fair enough. So CS2 on top, as always.
What can we say? We are the best.
We are. Me and you.
We are personally the best. We represent the entire CS2
We represent all of CS2 at Epicland. I think, you know, I think between me and you, we've got the skills.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Also, one thing I do need to shout out on a serious note is that Trade It are sponsoring a couple of prizes throughout this event. So shout out to our friends over at Trade It for this. But there is a $200 prize for the MVP of Epicland. That's $200 for the MVP of the entire event. And they are also sponsoring the charity match, which is coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow, 3 p.m, isn't it?
I believe 3 p.m. tomorrow is Granny's Knockers versus the Bin Men, 2 staples of the UK scene.
2 titans, I would say, of the UK scene.
Titans, yes.
I mean, what would it be without them, to be honest? The Bin Men especially have done a huge amount of work for the UK scene in general.
I feel like Granny's Knockers have done a lot regionally, and Bin Men are now branching out internationally. We had the Bin Men in Paris. We had a Bin Men jersey in Sydney as well in the audience.
Very impressive.
Which is great to see. I must confess, I now have a jersey of both sides. So I can remain both neutral and supportive in tomorrow's show match.
You wear both of them and then take off the one that's losing. I think that's how you do it.
Don't give them away my plan. But it is all for a good cause. It's for a massively good cause. This is for Breast Cancer UK. If you want to donate, there is a GoFundMe page or Just Giving page. I'll get the details for you properly in a moment.
You can also buy raffle tickets.
You can also buy raffle tickets if you're at the event. It's £1 per ticket, and there are some very, very good prizes on offer. We got signed jerseys, we got CPUs, we got GPUs, I think, we got RGB stuff,
all sorts
PC
of very
cases,
cool prizes.
Very, very nice prices.
So do if you are at the event and you haven't bought raffle tickets yet, definitely go over to the shop and buy as many as you can afford. Don't do that, but buy some. Give your money to charity.
Please gamble responsibly.
Please
but it is for charity. It's a great cause. And again, thank you to everyone who's made this possible. Thank you to everyone for buffing up the prize pool, for giving whatever you can. And go check out the page there. You can check it out on both the Granny's Knockers and Bin Men Twitter for the proper link to the Just Giving page. But I have been informed that we are actually now going live into Nuke.
Oh my God.
It's been a little while, but I enjoyed the ramble. I enjoyed the chat.
I mean, we covered some very important topics, so I think, you know.
Oh, for God's sake. Frosty, what you doing?
Oh my goodness. Frosty doing his absolute best to delay this game as much as possible.
Production are banging their tables. Oh, Luke, there's no need to cry. It's okay. We'll be there eventually. Yes.
Production's very, very upset.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we'll need to buy them something later, calm them down, give them an energy drink.
We'll get them a raffle ticket.
We'll buy them one raffle ticket.
One raffle ticket.
Just as a placation.
That was a witch's cry over there. I thought Halloween was on Tuesday. Good heavens. As production, it's okay, production. We'll give you a cuddle afterwards. It's all right. Your bleeding hearts have been recognised. As I like the way it's Frosty and Frosty. That's going to be fun to pronounce mid-round.
You've got to differentiate between the two, because of course Frosty is Frosty, but I believe they have adjusted the name to make it just a little bit easier for us to differentiate. And also
the Twitch plug, as is customary.
Well, both of them with the Twitch plug.
Yeah.
Jared with the Epic Land plug, which is nice.
Frosty as well. One of the two.
One of the two.
Frosty 10 and Frosty is what we're running with today.
Fwast.
And yeah, shout out to a fellow Tom on the other side. We got Gil with a lemon, Beamers, Stop It, and Kika. Yeah, that's the end of that point, really. I just listed off the names.
Yeah, you listed off the name. I mean, they're all very familiar, I think, to most people.
I feel like the most important factor here, though, genetexe start on the CT side.
Genetexe do, which is, some would say, pretty significant advantage here on Nuke. But again, this game has some pretty high stakes, so I don't think Chucklestorm Strikers are going to roll over. I mean, we're talking about second or third seed in the group, and if you come third, of course, you go straight into the lower bracket. If you come second, you go into the upper bracket. That gives you that extra lifeline, so you're essentially fighting here for a lifeline in that playoffs bracket. And obviously you're going to go straight into the, if you go straight into the upper bracket, yes, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult, that upper bracket game. There's named, if you come second in the group, you could be playing someone like K10.
K10 Arctic Raptors, really.
I mean, you wouldn't play, Arctic Raptors are in this group, so you wouldn't play the winner of your own group. But you could play someone like K10,
sorry,
which
very valid point.
Very difficult to overcome. I think also, is it Puffle Pals? I think are winning in Group A.
Puffle Pals have messed up now.
No, they did. They lost a couple of games.
They're
I'm not sure what the seed
third in the group. I think, because they lost to 4NR and Granny's Knockers, but good.
Damn.
So 4NR is top of the group, undefeated right now.
So that could, well, you could be looking at playing something like 4NR then. So there is actually a lot of opportunity, I think, in the upper bracket if you can make it there. And as we start here on the pistol round here, Chucklestorm Strikers, they can be going up over this silo, running it through in towards that mini position.
Yeah, they've taken the rooftops as Urob now. That's a nice initial tag. A dink landed, but not enough to deal with Stop It, as Tom and Jared go blow for blow into the 4v4 we go. Tom continues to tap away, but can't quite deny that bomb. Actually, yeah, there we go. Bomb being planted now by Urob as Beamers and Frosty get a frag apiece. Tom, another one. Now a 3v2, but a great Chuli's frag from Godku.
Rob trying to live, trying to delay, spend time at the back of this site, prevent the CTs from pushing in a little bit too close. Tom and Gil both trying to fight their way, but Rob's still living on the back of this site and has found a kill on towards Tom. Gil at the speed of his name. The Julie's going to be absolutely lethal. All Goku has to do is spam. I don't know if his teammates have been able to tell him, though, if this player is particularly low. Crosses over, and is that going to be enough time just based off that?
What's just happened there? Does he lag out, run into the wall? I mean, regardless, there's enough time for the bomb to go off. He wins the clutch just about. That was a very weird way to be winning out the round. But Chucklestorm Strikers, I anticipate maybe a tech or attack after that one.
Perhaps he just ran into the corner, assuming that if I run into the corner here, there is no way you can kill me quickly enough to get to the bomb and defuse. So perhaps it was, yeah, it looks like that's absolutely fine. Perhaps that was the play. They all seem to be running out of spawn, so.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, Goku's, yeah, he's just
lined up
throwing a smoke. That's all it is. Yeah, wow. Well, Chucklestorm get the first one, but Gil's already taken down Jared towards outside. That's not ideal for the T side, but as long as they can prevent that gun from falling into enemy hands, it's not too much of a loss. Goku already farming heads off the top of the garage position. stop it. Well, has come swung behind him from behind blue. I think hiding in that smoke, Goku was not expecting that.
Rob does go back for more, but doesn't complete the spray. Needs to go back again as Gil, hidden in the back of Garage, has found Frosty. And into the 3 versus 2 we find ourselves. The CT side on nothing more than pistols are having an absolute terror here. Frosty on the other side pushes onto Squeaky. Then leave us in a 2 versus 2, but this is still worryingly doable. Less so now. Frosty, a great follow-up, but this round was already closer than it ever should have been. Oh no.
Lovely shot from Gil. Now this is into the 1v1. Frosty 10 though does manage to find the kill. Crouching, spraying with that Galil. Doesn't want to be the 3rd victim of Gil's in one such round from that Deagle. That is an incredible performance from the CTs, but not quite able to make it past.
Yeah, now coming into that 3rd round. Chucklestorm Strikers. Not as much in the driving seat as you would think right now. I mean, genetexe have a really solid buy, an AUG as well, which has been described by many pros as a laser beam coming into CS2. It's interesting to see it coming back into the meta as Kika uses it to their advantage and Goku has been sent packing early.
Yeah, that's something Chucklestorm seem to have managed to lose a couple of players in both the previous rounds straight off the bat. Not ideal, but as long as they can keep coming out on top in the 4v5 scenario, it's not too much of a loss. But the fact that Rob is so low already and Goku out of the game, Chucklestorm have got to be just a little bit worried about how their 3rd round is going to progress. Fortunately for them, this is sort of a bit of a bonus. Again, they had a couple of Galils available and the Scout in hand, but unfortunately they've also invested quite a lot into the round since they were only surviving with that one player in the previous one. So despite it being, you expect that bonus, they've invested a lot. And Tom finding 2 is traded out by Frosty 10, but not going to be able to develop that any further.
Yeah, that's really solid for genetexe there, as the Chucklestorm Strikers, well, I mean, they screwed themselves over by having their economy in such a bad place. They're not going to be able to invest into this round, and if they decide to, it won't be a particularly competent buy, and they do decide to go for the force here because of their, well, 1st stage loss bonus.
They would have been in a double eco there. It's got to be, it's a difficult call, but you have to do it, right?
Absolutely. They're just looking to farm up a storm right now on the CT side, though. It's pistols up against them, and it's a lot harder to attack with pistols than it is to defend on this map.
Oh, as you say that, Goku just farms. Well, stop it there. Lovely little headshot there, and looking for more action. There's quite a bit of damage on towards Kika, and they're in the A site already. It's Gil and Kika, the only 2 players left alive to try and shut this down, and actually, one coming from outside. I think one is actually currently going out through outside, and the bomb is actually going down towards B here. Sneaky, this is sneaky.
It is indeed. They've gone and Chucklestormed the offensive. As genetexe now, it's going to be a save. Gil and Kika don't quite know what hit them. Kika able to get the opening kill of the round, and that's about all they wrote home. As Chucklestorm, this is ridiculous. An incredible effort and really solid on the Tech 9 swings. And I like the way they immediately disproved me. I said the pistol's stronger on that defense. And then bang, here we go.
I think Goku used no clip. He was into that that position so quickly, dropping on towards small blue very quickly, and that's why Stop It just was not ready for it. Chucklestorm Strikers pushed themselves to 3, and this is the sort of thing that as a T side you really like the look of this start. The fact that you're 4 rounds in, you've already secured 3. This T side is panning out quite well. You only really need to get 3 or 4 more, and you're already happy. Already happy at this stage of the half, especially with it being MR12. The moment you get 6 or 7 on the T side, it looks like a real struggle when you do swap over for those Ts to try and come back.
Yeah, I mean, 6 is really comfortable for your standard T side. It's as close as you can get to the old 8-7 half. It still feels weird saying even numbers at the halftime scoreline, but it's something we're all adapting to, and Chucklestorm have adapted nicely to genetexe's play style of using the more passive nature by just running and gunning with those Tech 9s. Jared, another opener on to stop it, and unfortunately for him, he will not be stopped as Kika on the flip side. Okay, Kika. Is that a double up there? No, just a flashbang trolling me as well. Gil chimes in for another kill. That's into the 3v3 we find ourselves, but Chucklestorm decide to leg it out onto the A bomb site, and Tom It's a little bit messy on the first, but finds 2 for the price of 1. Kika, great reposition, and that's a big round for genetexe.
A well-needed one there for the CT side. They don't want to let the T's run away with it, and if they had lost that one there, the economy would have been a little bit shambolic, Sneaky. I've got to say, they would have been in a tough spot, and would be having to seed probably 1 or even 2 more rounds on over to that T side without any kind of response. They pick up the win there, puts them on a more even footing, and actually it's some strikers now on the back foot with just the 1 rifle in hand. That is on Frosty. They're clearly confident that he can make something of this, and he's actually going to be towards outside, looking alongside Urob. Find a cheeky tap towards this outside position. Credit card, there's nobody there. Garage, nobody there. Just 1 player, that is, of course, Stop It, sitting right at the back there covering the mini position.
Yeah, it's a really annoying position to deal with for the T side, although they deal with it quite nicely in this instance with a smoke grenade. Now Frosty has been entrusted with the rifle here. They need to be proven that they are not the snowman in this instance. Currently 0-5, melting under the pressure of a very important group stage matchup. But now as genetexe have a clear line of sight, they go for the swing, and that's the first kill. That's the important one for Frosty.
It's almost a caster's curse. The moment you mention that they're not doing very well, they find their first kill. Excellent stuff from Chucklestorm strikers. Playing it very slow as well in this outside position, which is, I think, it's always good to have in your repertoire as a slow outside push. They have actually also traded 1 for 1 there towards outside as well. There are 2 players towards lobby, which they are going to have to clear out.
That's
and the bomb is actually there. That is a bit of a disaster.
Wait, why did they not? Oh, the bomb in the worst of places right now as Frosty starts to push through hard. They're spamming on down with everything they can. McGill bodies away the first, Tom the second, Jared a nice attempt on the Desert Eagle, but the Dastardly Deeg is not enough, and Kika always seemed to be in the right place at the right time for that final kill. They pick up another, and that is an equalized scoreline. That round was almost secured for the T side, but the bomb left in the worst of places.
Absolutely. I'm not sure if they tried to come through lobby with that bomb or if someone had dropped it and they went outside. I feel like it was Goku trying to come through lobby with that. Was not expecting to find those 2 players already policing that lobby position. Goku wants to get straight towards this door. And again, they're going for a very fast play out of the pistol. It worked so well from last time. They're trying to repeat it and it's not going as well.
Yeah, you could say that again. Tom finds another 2K spray down to mop things up, and all that's left is poor old Goku.
2 HP to his name.
Yeah, it's rough. He's a dead man walking in this stage, and oh, Kika just wide swings, sees him through the gap, pre-fires of a door, and genetexe have now stolen away the lead. It's 4-3 for the CT side, a little bit to be expected on the map of Nuke, but we've got the guns back now for our T side endeavor. So hopefully we can see a bit more of a splash than just, well, getting absolutely mullered in that round.
Yeah, Goku's still on the Mach 10 though, so they clearly weren't able to get out everything they might have wanted, but they have got plenty of utility on most of their players. And it looks like those outside smokes are going to be coming down. We do see Kika contesting this. He's going to get flashed. Goku just melts him. Mach 10, so powerful, but that outside smoke, it didn't land. Frosty, if that was you should have learned your spokes better this morning, mate, and you've already been nailed by that orb outside. Stop it. Using that to great effect. Gil, bomb is just looking the wrong way. There's a player in towards hell, but no one cleared ramp.
Yeah, I don't really understand that ramp setup there from the Chucklestorm strikers as Gil just farms up another onto Jared. All that's left now is Frosty. He's going to need a lot more than 10 damage. Finds the first. What's the second player? 1 minute and 5 left to play with. It's not the end of the world on the clock, but the fact he's only got 20 HP to his name and so many targets to find. Molotov good for flushing the initial player out. At least that also. The smoke very late. The spam very close, but even still, it's just such an unlikely ordeal to be coming out on top of.
Actually going to be playing towards the back of this position, and I don't believe your gun sticks out too much here if you aim in the right place, but no, the city's backing off completely, saying no, we'll allow you to have lobby, we'll back off, we'll be staying on towards the sites. You can try and 1v3 us if you'd like, but it's going to be a difficult one. He's going to go for it. Player out of the hut knocks him down, and that is 5-3 to genetexe.
Yeah, so we've talked about what would be good on a T side on Nuke, but what is the lowest benchmark you could be aiming for? Maybe like a 4-round T
To
half?
still go on and be potentially able to win the game, I would be suggesting at least 4 or 5 here in MR12. Back in the day, you'd probably be saying 5, 6, but with the MR12, the adjustment, realistically, you're looking at 4 or 5. And to be honest, because it's now quite difficult to generate that economy on the City side, if you only get 4 and then you also have a slow start on your City side, you just aren't going to get back in the game at all.
Okay, shout out to Stop It for a lovely adjustment on the orb there. Massive headshot. A 50 cal to the cranium. I have been assured it's not healthy.
No.
Yeah, I don't know who told me that. Crazy, but
some alternative fact science doctor, I reckon. It can't be true, can it?
Well, Godku looks to prove the theory. Another round to the cranium of Gil. It's a 4 versus 3 right now. They do have B, but they don't have all that much presence. Now, who is the bomb carrier in this instance? I've been struggling to tell on the HUD today.
Yes, it's actually, I don't know if we can. Oh yeah, there we go. Rob does
Ooh, Rob, there we go.
Yes. So he's actually stuck in the heart right now, and Beamer's he's able to prevent any kind of a push coming out. Frosty, I believe, is he the outside player right now? Yes, he is. And he's going to be coming in through main. They need to clear out Tom here in towards CT vent. Actually, they're just aggressing outside. Stop It might not be aware of this. Or is about to get challenged.
Right, Goku's just found another frag onto Kika though. Tom able to trade on back, but now the Goku starts to make more noise. Oh, the Orb's not expecting it, but Stop It! An amazing adjustment, and no scope to be found in the top of heaven. And with that, a 6-3 scoreline, an excellent mop-up. And yes, there is still money on this T side to invest, but they're running out of rounds to win with said investments. Really nice recovery from the CT side.
6-3 with 3 rounds left at the half. This is obviously MR12 situation where if the CTs get rolling and they dominate the Ts, there's not much in the way of a response that can be made in a half like this. But at least they have got the 3 at the moment. That may be enough. 50 HP already got you though. Very, very low. Outside very, very well by genetexe so far. Once that molly runs out, we may see an extra smoke coming down. Should be able to cover the gap. Get those Ts. Oh, the run boost. Actually, that nade, fine.
Oh
Stop it. That's
goodness.
a beautiful nade. Oh, Godku sees him. That's a beautiful position. I'm not sure if his shadow showed off Redbox, but Kika gets wrecked. Beamers does find at least a response, but it's now 4v3 favoring Chucklestorm.
And yeah, this puts a lot of pressure onto Beamers' shoulders. Frosty catches him off guard. Perfect timing, perfect positioning. But it's still a 3 versus 2. It's still winnable for either side as Tom chums back on in onto Urob. Bomb planted. Tom trying to fight his way back into the side. The smoke gives him a bit of time as he manages to peer on in and does some damage to Jared, but it's not going to be enough to find the frag. Gil has now grouped up with them though. It appears they're going for this retake. They've got a bit more util. They've got a kit. But the problem is Chucklestorm strikers have fantastic positions here. Lovely crossfire from both Heaven, Squeaky and Hut. And the door is closed, so the position is unknown. They've got to call it here. Tom finds the first. That's actually the position not utilised towards Squeaky, but this is already a said and done round. As Tom goes down to the flames of Frosty, gets absolutely melted by the snowman.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's how we're doing it, aren't we? Frosty the Tiger is Frosty 10 at this moment, since he is 9-7. He's topping that scoreboard, and Frosty at the bottom of that scoreboard. Definitely more of a snowman in your initial analogy. That we had at the start. I feel like this is the best way to measure the impact of these two players. But Chucklestorm now with the 4. They try and build a bit of momentum. Try and get one these next 2 rounds, put them in a bit more of a comfortable situation. That's not how you're going to do it. Kika's already in Africa. You can't walk through that smoke, Jared. As Chucklestorm strikers take a bit of a blow at the start of this round.
That was a bold shift walk there. Again, you are very lost when you're in a smoke in CS2, so I can see why that might have happened, but it just didn't need to. And either way, genetexe, they have lost Beamers. There is still a chance here for the Chucklestorm strikers, but that's another great smoke. It'll buy a bit of time, but Gil buys more with time. Picks up another frag, another man advantage retained. Kika charges forward and puts Urob onto a single point of health. Yes, this round is still possible, but it is unlikely and increasingly so, excuse me. Bomb is tapped, and Urob will be allowed to stick it. That's a handy bit of extra cash for this side, but Kika and Stop It charge on down, leaving Urob on 1 HP in a 1v3 with a dream. Bonk.
Not going to find the head there that could have potentially led to the 1v3, and genetexe will make it to 7. The best the Chucklestorm Strikers can hope for is 5, but they're going to have to do that off a very, very poor buy this coming round, and genetexe have secured themselves the lead for this half at least. Chucklestorm, I mean, they do have somewhat of a buy. It's not going to be quite everything they may have wanted. Godku's going to be a bit low on the YouTube, but at least they've got the AKs and the armor out. That's the important thing. And they really, 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 really want to find something here in round number 12, because the pistol round is going to be oh so important if they don't. Nate's coming in straight away towards Hart. Jared's trying to go straight through them. Is he able to get out, but doesn't spot the players towards the top of Hart. There's 5 players all on A here from genetexe. They read this A rush.
Yeah, they've read it absolutely perfectly. They've done so much damage, so many kills flying through, but Frosty still alive and picks up a double. Hold on a moment, this has gotten back to even territory now.
How has this happened?
Plants on B, I have no idea. It's insanity on the server. But Tom spots Frosty. It's now a 1 versus 2, and Godku, one of the biggest names on this side, needs to clutch up for his team.
It's a 1v2, Galil in hand, just the 1 HE, and actually both players are going to be coming from this position. Do flash him off. Just spot the head of one. Knows exactly where the other is. Can use the HE to delay if needed. And actually, it's going to land 60 HP on towards Stop It. He's going to go straight for the bomb. Fails to drop the smoke, and the timer's ticking. Needs to get back and doesn't get onto it before Godku spots him. That is a huge 1v2 for Godku. Chucklestorm make the 1v2 happen. They pull it back 7 and 5. That's not a bad T side.
Yeah, I mean, especially with how they looked in some of the middle of the half rounds.
Yeah, they were getting dominated.
Yeah, it looked pretty shaky, but that 1 versus 2 is massive. It gives them momentum back in their favor. It puts them into a good stature for the second pistol round, and also, of course, onto the CT side, the heavily favored side here on Nuke. I mean, with a 7-5 scoreline, it's one of those scorelines where I feel like overtime is definitely a possibility, especially with how overall closely contested we've seen our sides here. But we have to also remember that Chucklestorm got a good few of their rounds in just the pistol and the conversion, so we need to see them prove themselves on these defensive gun rounds. Gil started off very strong though, a nice start for genetexe.
All 5 of those players have been seen going down towards that B position. Trying to get the crossfire going off, but they only get 1 with it. Frosty only able to find Beamez, and Godku not getting anyone. Jared 10 HP to his name, will find 2. Actually, he's back in the game. Needs to secure this 1v2 again. Reminiscent of the Godku scenario just earlier, but Stop It will walk in, and Jared's on such low HP, doesn't really have an opportunity to do much there. That's a rough pistol round, I've got to say, for the Chucklestorm Strikers. They're likely to go down 9 and 5 unless they try to really invest into a force here, which they might do if you see Jared buying up that scout with MP9s across the board. It's just they don't want to give genetexe too much of a lead, because if they do, they build up that economy, and the CT side is nigh on unstoppable.
Just to point something out though, Tom is 19 in, well, was 8, now 9. That's a lovely opening kill from Jared. But the disparity between him and a player like Frosty or Urob is massive. Yeah. As Jared does go back in for another peek. The scout is doing it all! Jared! That is fantastic from the back of Garage. Gil and Beamez are shaken up. So much damage done to the former of the pair. This needs to be some semblance of a recovery for the T. So they've gone for the buy, but Goku goes for the swing onto Gil. It's all up to Beamez in a 1v5. That's a force buy from Chucklestorm.
I mean, there's 4 AWPers on this Chucklestorm Strikers team, and one of them can use a scout. Very impressive play. They pull back an incredibly important second round on their CT side, and they've now managed to get a little bit of an economy on their side. They're going to be buying up the weapons, and, well, T's a bit of a tough spot. They're going to have to buy the Tech 9s. They're going to be ones on the back foot here. And it's a position where, if they lose this round, the CTs will, again, get an even stronger economy, start to build up that side. They've already got 4 kits out already. It's a bit of a luxury, almost, I would say, buying 4 kits this early on. But they're confident. And Jared's back outside with the scope rifle, very happy to take these fights. Out they come, but he lands the headshot. That's beautiful. The USP is out, and he finds a second. He finds a third. Jared, that is huge. There's 2 more players left. Jared could certainly be on for more here.
I mean, listen to the crowd. That is crowd reaction to Jared. This man is insane. 2 back-to-back 3Ks on the scout, and none of them easy. Frosty, he mops the rest of them up. And yes, this round was not quite as in the balance as the previous. It was, for the most part, just pistols running down outside. It could have been dealt with. But the fact that they don't have to deal with what could have been a bit of a tricky situation, a bit of an encompassing, is down to, again, our hero in Jared. What a burning start to the second half.
The important thing as well with Chucklestorm Strikers keeping their players alive is that now they've got 3-4 grand in their back pockets, and that means if they lose this round, the next round they'll be getting the AWPs out, and that's where I think Chucklestorm Strikers are going to go massive.
And they're not losing this round either, are they?
And they're not losing this. 3 Glocks, 2 Deagles, unless they really mess up. It's a tough one. So they are probably going to be able to equalise here. And from how they've been playing the city side so far, with Jared on the outside putting some dominant displays on show so far, their nuke CC side is looking like a good story.
Now, I said we didn't need a Nico outside, and to be honest,
we've got one.
You can't really compare him to Nico, because Nico can't hit the blind side of a farm with a sniper rifle, but yeah, it's been insane from Jared, and that's another flawless round as well. 2 flawless rounds in a row, and the bank balances are stacking up for the CT side. 3 rounds in a row. They've got momentum, they've got confidence, a spring in their step.
And they've got the cash.
And they've got the cash to work with.
Absolutely beautiful to see from the Chucklestorm Strikers. Again, this is 2nd v 3rd seed. genetexe on the 2nd seed of this group. The fight for the upper bracket position, realistically, the winner of this matchup here will go into that upper bracket. I believe it's pretty much set as that. The outside utility coming on out. Jared, as we were talking about, those HEs are very, very strong. Already in position for it, doesn't spot anything. Hopefully they've got another one to go down there.
Yeah, it's just a slowing of pace for genetexe here, and it's not something I'm averse to. I like that from Stop It, but the timing does not work. Okay, now Jared is Nico. He's whipped out the A1S, and he's just been so proficient. Can he find the multi-frag? No, not quite. Tom, the other top fragger on the server right now, 20 kills and 11 deaths, put up a fantastic performance on that first half, and is looking to continue it now on the T side. I reckon it will be more difficult for him to keep up that level of fragging on the offensive. He does have teammates to help him out who are in pretty decent positions. Kika and Gil, both names that spring to mind, but Stop It and Bmez now are the ones lagging behind a little bit. Although I guess you could say it balances out with Urob and Frosty.
I think you could. Frosty having a, well, yeah, as both of them having a bit of a rough and actually Frosty caught out again towards this ramp position. Gil's going to drop on down. The B site is potentially open. There is Godku in position, ready to deny it, but only one player has come forward, tried to trigger discipline, but was checked. The other 2 players both going to be popping out.
No, they both tried to open the door at the same time!
No, they've given it away, and Godku and Frosty, the dream duo down on the B site, have completely shut down genetexe. Chucklestorm Strikers, they take the lead, Sneaky. 9-8, that is their 4th in a row. And look at the T side. They cannot really afford to buy again here. It's going to be double digits for Chucklestorm Strikers.
There's no way that Goku would have won that 2 versus 1 if they'd have just coordinated who was going to open the door. They press E at the same time, you hear the and that is when you know it's over. It bounces back, the door slaps him in the face, and so does Goku with a kill. That allows Chucklestorm so much free roam, and oh wow, they now have a roundup over the likes of genetexe, and it's just the dastardly Deagle investment, or lack thereof, you could say.
Bit of a slower paced round from genetexe here. All the pistol rounds we've seen from both were very, very fast pushes or entries on towards this A side. Actually, they're taking it slower, and it's not working out any better for them, Sneaky. Stop It and Kika both headshot already. Jared taking names towards outside. Frosty had a bit of a rough round last, not able to make much of this one, just finding the 1 kill on towards Tom, but is able to give the communications, the comms, to his teammates, where these last 2 Ts are. And the 4 players with rifles, guns up, the Chucklestorm Strikers should not be allowed a bomb plant here.
No, a bomb plant would actually be way too generous, but now they just need to focus on winning the round. It's a 3 versus 2. This is where things could get a bit dangerous. 45 seconds to play with. genetexe don't need to go towards B either, and Jared has gotten wind of this, but doesn't fully extend up the staircase. Instead, just changes his own position towards single door. I like this, though. Perfect positioning. Kill is alerted to it, but can't find the kill. Frosty doubles up, and it's a Frosty and Jared round. The wombo combo to find double digits, and this is looking a little bit difficult now for the T side.
Yeah, the double digits have come out. Now the T side can finally formulate a response. genetexe are going to have that cash in hand. They're going to have the utility to potentially actually pull off some of these outside executes, make their way round towards either CT or down towards their secret position. But it's very much going to depend upon what the counter utility is like from Chucklestorm strikers. And Jared has not been led in any genetexe players by unharmed or unhindered so far. So perhaps they maybe want to look towards the weaknesses on this CT side, which at the moment, they've managed to get this pick on ramp a couple of times. Frosty's been struggling just a little bit to try and hold down that position by himself. Luckily, the good rotations and strong positioning by GodQ and Frosty10 have been sort of helping him out a little bit. But if genetexe do start to lean towards that ramp position, they've got to be worried about some of these flanks and these B setups that Chucklestorm strikers have shown they're willing to do. Yeah,
honestly, if this round goes awry, 2 flashbangs and a Mach 10 rush onto ramp might not be the worst idea if they can just abuse Frosty again. But in the meantime, Stopping catches GodQ. That's a massive opening kill. Are they able to continue this momentum? Oh, Jared, that's probably his first mistake playing outside so far. We'll forgive him this time, but he's still taking space. But this allows Stop It a little bit of roam towards Squeaky. Util comes in to put that to bed, and Jared has also been slept by Kika. This is the first round that actually looks dangerous for Chucklestorm in the second half.
Kika had that really realised, well, we've got to pick. They're going to try and aggress, find something back here. Where best to take a look than Jared, the player that's been popping off so much. We can shut that player down. It gives us a lot of better chance here in round number 19.
Yeah, you can hear the crowd getting riled up in the LAN hall now. I say crowd, that's definitely the players in this instance. But for Chucklestorm strikers, still looking to play their hands in this round. They've less money than they had before, with the exception of Frosty and Urob. You know what? I'm going to retract that point. They got loads of cash. Frosty has a frag as well, but Stop It deals another killing blow, and that's his second in this round. Urob decides with Frosty that it's probably best if they go for the save. One time that ramp isn't challenged is unfortunately the one time they have 2 players in the vicinity. genetexe finally a T-side of round in their favour. It's something they've been looking for a long damn time, and they will find themselves on 9, excuse me.
Important round for the T-side to get again, because it's another one where if they lost it, they would be broken and have to cede another one to Chucklestorm. So to keep themselves in the game, pick up round number 19 here. Frosty and Urob are making the correct decision, I think, here to save. Yes, their economy is really good, but again, this game could go the full distance. We could be looking at 4 more runs. Round 20 to round 24. That's 5 more rounds potentially being needed in this particular game. So saving that extra 2 guns, actually a big impact here, even though it looks, it looked a few seconds ago like they had a decent lead and plenty of cash in the bank. You can burn through that very quickly on that CT side. Now we've got a tactical timeout used by Chucklestorm. genetexe used theirs last round and they managed to deliver. Chucklestorm calling their own timeout here, try and sort out what's going wrong and establish what they need to do next. One thing I noticed that round, they sent 2 players towards ramp. They're expecting genetexe to try and exploit that ramp position.
Yeah, and they end up not. They just go well, for the kills, really. They land an excellent opener onto GodQ, and that's where things start to spiral. They only pick up 1 kill in response, and that's exactly the kind of round that this T-side needed. They've been locked out for so long, feeling rather dejected. That is a big 5-round streak to be putting up in the middle as another tactical timeout called. That's a double tac called.
They got a lot to talk about.
I'm not mad. I'm enjoying seeing these teams calling their tac timeouts. We saw a 13-2. 1 tac timeout. We saw a 13-3, no tac timeouts. And now in a very, very close affair, a 10-9 scoreline, the closest I have seen yet. We have lots of tac timeouts, we have lots of discussion, input from all the players. And as the game plan is formulated, yes, I do think genetexe is still feeling the pressure here after being in the lead and have been caught up to rather rapidly. This is also a nice time for the CTs to discuss, but it could go both ways as the nerves set in.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot on the line here. When there's a lot on the line, such as an upper bracket or lower bracket placing, teams do seem to be a little bit more willing to take these timeouts and really think about what they're going to be doing next in these games. It starts to really count. And after a point, you can't afford to lose any more rounds or make any more mistakes. Chucklestorm Strikers, they've actually already got Goku over towards this ramp position with the AWP, so they're playing this double ramp setup again, this time with an AWP in hand, rather than Rob just being that extra rifle over there. The 2 players towards A, but it's a pretty slow round from genetexe. I suppose they were expecting something to come out from the Chucklestorm side, but actually they just adjusted their default and not made any sweeping pushes or, well, quick plays in towards this position. Yeah,
they're going for the prodding and poking kind of maneuver here. They're taking it slowly, hoping that Chucklestorm slip up, and they were able to capitalize in the last round, so if it's not broke, don't try and fix it. However, they might need to find a new fix soon, as Chucklestorm have actually changed up their position here. And with that, genetexe do start to hover towards the ramp side of things, where Frosty is going to be challenged. 4 players ready and waiting to swing. Molotov throw too late. He will be able to get out of dodge in the nick of time, and that is a big molly, you're right. So much damage dealt, especially to Kika. And as they charge down lower towards the B site, Frosty has a really solid position but gets nothing done. Godku on the AWP will pick off Beamez, goes in for another shot, and a cracking one onto Kika. Back down towards the double doors. He is pressured. Has the Molotov temporarily defending him, but Gil runs through. As you said, it's pandemonium for Jared. So reliable, only good for the single.
Bomb is down. Frosty, they've got the flash, they're going to go through together. Frosty falls, the flash is too wide! Tom, that's huge! The 1v2! genetexe, they equalise with a monster round!
Oh God, it all falls apart. That looked like a round Chucklestorm couldn't lose in the end. But again, it's the double doors. It's always the double doors that stop the retakes from happening and stop the momentum in its tracks. Tom, only 3 kills so far in this half, if I'm not mistaken. Finally starting to pick up the pace.
But those two were excellent.
Mwah, chef's kiss.
Chucklestorm Strikers, they left that ramp position. They started off with 2 towards that B ramp area. They were like, we reckon these genetexe guys, they're gonna try and exploit it. And they rotated off. They lost their nerve. They were like, actually, we're not seeing anything early. We don't think it's gonna be. They left Frosty alone again. And whilst he did huge damage with the molly and did manage to find a couple of hits with the AK, no headshots for himself. And yeah, got overran very, very quickly.
Less Chucklestorm and more Chuckle Vision, but this is no laughing matter. As genetexe continue taking, well, some pretty high caliber scalps in tight situations. Something that Chucklestorm just haven't been able to keep up with. As, speaking of chuckling, that is a Joker laugh coming from the booth next to us. There's Frosty.
Overwatch players descending into madness.
Oh God.
What's new?
As is their scene, so you know, we have the high ground there. Beamez in the meantime taking down to 1 HP. Frosty also on the receiving end of some damage. Molotov clears out hollow vent. As Frosty, he's still waiting on a bit of an off angle here. Nate displaces him slightly, but it doesn't look like genetexe are gearing up for a push just yet. They've got a lurk in Kika outside. That could be interesting because, hold on a minute. There's a player about 2 meters away from Kika on the other side of red box. Who clears who? That is the game.
It's a game of nerves as well. How long do you stay in that position before you think, surely there's no one outside? They've made no noise in ages. Is Kika going to clear?
Oh no.
That's
saw the gun barrel as well. That's so unfortunate.
Maybe he's playing 4x3. That would be a mistake indeed, as Frosty does find one towards ramp. Is able to give the info that these 2 players are running down, and Chucklestorm respond very, very quickly. Jared getting that kill outside is actually massive, as now they have all of the control, and they just need to worry about these ramp and control positions. That plant is going to try and go down.
It's only a ledge.
They just open the double doors straight into him, and that's, what can they do? Jared, that's a 3K for himself. Beautiful stuff from the Chucklestorm Strikers, who regain the lead after a brief falter.
Jared, Jared, Jared. The man is multi-kill madness in this second half. He's been very enjoyable to watch. And they actually do it. They win the fight at the double doors whilst
Beautiful.
trying to get onto the site. And that's another tack timeout for genetexe. And if I'm not mistaken, that last tack timeout is only able to be called in OT. So they've got their last one called here. I think that is how it works at the moment, which makes it, I mean, even more indicative of signs of struggle here. Definitely feeling the pressure now as Chucklestorm Strikers get themselves straight back into a really promising position.
genetexe still need at least 2 rounds to go to OT. And to be fair, so the way the scoring works at the moment is if you go into OT,
you play
you
one
both
OT.
get at least 1 point. If you win the OT, you get 2 points in terms of the scoring. If you draw the OT, that's it, I think. There's no more OT, you both get 1 point. So if you go to OT, you don't get as many points, but hopefully in this group that shouldn't matter. There's been no other draws or OTs in this group that I'm aware of, so it doesn't really matter. Whoever gets the highest amount of points goes through, and I'm unsure what happens if they both draw. I don't know what happens if they both draw.
Another best of one.
Yeah,
or just keep playing overtimes, maybe?
It probably goes to round diff, and I think Chucklestorm Strikers has a better round diff.
Okay, that's when we're really getting our calculators out as Kika. He's not stopping to do the maths, he's stopping to find the frags. And Stoppin also chimes in as well. And genetexe, this is a fantastic rebuttal. Chucklestorm just didn't anticipate it. I feel like the break took their own foot off the gas a little bit. That was a really impressive call on the tactical timeout front for genetexe, and an even better call coming into the success of this round. A quick weapon swap here is, okay, Jared's been asked to go investigating with the orb. Maybe exit frags here because genetexe don't have crazy amounts of cash, but even still, that is an 11-11 scoreline. We are going the distance here, and I am very excited.
It is a tight game, and
What? Uh-oh.
Godku.
That's a
How
huge
did
disconnect.
that happen?
Was that a disconnect, or did he just die?
I don't think it's a disconnect. I think he just died. Did he nade himself?
Wait, Jared just got another kill onto Kika, though, and Tom goes down to the bomb, which is actually really, really good. Because look at the economy right now. BMS can't fully reinvest. Kika can't either. A drop can come over from Stop It right now, but
How did Godku die?
What had just happened?
Did he nade himself?
Observer, do we know how Godku died? Did he fall off a cliff, or did he nade himself, or did he naded himself? Oh no!
I mean, when the tensions are high, 11-10 like that.
Oh, that's so tragic.
That is disastrous. They lose the gun, but the thing is, the damage has been done to genetexe, and their buy this round is a lot weaker because of it. Tom and Gil particularly low on the utility.
Urob does have a shotgun though, so they've still got the better buy.
You've not seen Urob with a shotgun. I've seen this guy.
Okay.
Have you seen Overpass Connector? That man is a beast. Honestly, the XM, it comes out hot and heavy.
Oh, but
Big
so
kill.
does Goku. When he's not nading himself, he is hitting big kills. And Kika is such an annoyance consistently for Chucklestorm. Gil goes down as well to Fwosty. Great that Fwosty's not been able to be overwhelmed in this one. It's so important. Goku bags another, and as much as they might get a bomb flung here, I don't think it's going to matter all that much. As Fwosty, the snowman, he keeps on going. What a round for Chucklestorm. He's got ice in his veins.
Lovely stuff from Fwosty, and that actually puts them there with that final kill and the defuse on towards match.
Okay.
A fourth tactical timeout coming out.
We don't have many of those around these parts anymore.
We don't know if. I mean, I'm assuming that is within the rules.
We'll let them have it.
We'll let them have it.
We'll let them have it. It's a stressful time.
Absolutely, but Chucklestorm Strikers, well, they've got one opportunity here, close out the game.
Yeah.
If they don't, we do go to overtime. Usually in a group stage, you do not have overtime enabled, and you just have a draw where both teams get 1 point and you move on.
First time in a long time that we've had OTs at Epic.
But because obviously the games are now much shorter and Epic has become no shorter, there's no extra group games, they have overtime enabled just so that if the game does need to go the distance, they can allow it.
How have we called another tack time? That's 2 tack timeouts, right?
I don't know what's
going on. Is that 5 tack?
No, because this one's genetexe.
Right.
The previous one was Chucklestorm Strikers.
Ah, okay. My apologies.
And yet genetexe still has 1 remaining.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm not sure how this is working out, but clearly everyone needs a quick chat.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to have a talk, a round table discussion.
In the words of Mika, relax, take it easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's from, but
I'm sorry. Okay, Chucklestorm have no more timeouts. Thank you, production. Thank you for the clarification. Yeah, we've had 8 timeouts in 6 rounds?
7 timeouts, because genetexe haven't used their last one.
Okay,
yet, but
cool.
that is 7 timeouts in the last 8 rounds. You are right. big round up and coming. Push towards ramp, and Frosty fumbles it again. 5 players going to be going straight down towards B, and the Chucklestorm Strikers are not in a position to repel this very quickly. Control already ceded to Kika, and I think that's stopping in front of him.
Oh, they're going to have to lump everything they have into this retake. But Frosty! A 2K spray down. Gil gets one immediately back, but still even contention here. Frosty swings the corner, but it's Jared to find that one. Frosty continues on his tirade, but Tom will shut him down. 2 versus 2. Intense times here on the B bomb site. This is for overtime, and Gil gets another. All down to Jared, the hero of Chucklestorm's second half. And he needs to tap that bomb. Honestly, the stick might be the answer, but Tom swings wide, and we are going to an overtime.
Oh my goodness, impressive stuff from the genetexe lads, identifying where the weak spot was, and Frosty just, I don't know what's going on with him and ramp. I know he's not particularly familiar with that ramp machine, he doesn't often play it, but unfortunately that's just been the weakness that genetexe have exploited over and over again. Gil finding one too many picks in that location, and now genetexe have pushed it to OT. So no team's going to be getting the full 3 points. Fortunately, doesn't matter in this group. There's been no weird other funky statistics, so that shouldn't matter. But really, you've got to be winning this OT to make your way into that upper bracket. Straight away, Frosty redeeming himself with a kill onto Gil.
Yeah, had to come through. But again, if you're struggling on ramp that much, play a more passive line, because staying alive is so much more important than going down and just doing a bit of damage. Tom, though, does a lot more than a bit of damage, kills Frosty, finishes him off with the frag grenade, but thankfully another kill comes through on the back of Goku's ult, meaning it's 4 versus 3 for Chucklestorm Strikers, and they've got another chance to close.
Goku's done it again.
Oh, God.
He's done it again. And Frosty 10's just going in. There's absolutely nowhere that genetexe can hide right now. Stop it's on top of the silo. But Chucklestorm Strikers, they are not going to go down without a fight. Jared's in spawn!
Oh, Jared's got the bomb. He's sitting there with his knife out.
He's on the T side at this point. Incredible stuff. Chucklestorm Strikers, they get a round win, and genetexe, they use their last tactical timeouts, I believe. I guess in OT they just don't get any extras.
Yeah, no, because normally Valve rules is 3 in regulation, now 1 in OT, but we just gave them 4 and said go ham.
Yeah.
So fair enough. Chucklestorm Strikers, though, they've landed themselves in the lead. We were talking about Frosty having a rough game.
Sure. BMez is having a rough patch.
So is Urob. BMez and Urob are just...
True, both of them too. Frosty's managed to redeem himself a little bit there toward, I think he was fighting out of hut, rather. They swapped with Rob last round, but still, Urob, and there's something about Nuke, I guess, that there just seems to be one player on each team that's not being able to do anything.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit painful at this stage.
Yeah.
I imagine for the pair of them as well.
You've got to be frustrated at this point in time.
Yeah, because you know you're able to get more than this. You know you're able to do so much better. They're familiar names, as we've already alluded to, as Kika now.
And they've had strong performances in the past. It's just in this moment, in this one best of one, which means a lot.
Oh, the pressure's mounting though. Frosty's just been a run straight past Kika.
Oh my God, gets 2!
He's gone back for another.
He's
all falling apart. Frosty, perfect from the squeaky position, leaves Gil in a 1v5. Urob goes down. Okay, Gil given a lot of free roam there, but Jared shuts him down. It's okay. We went from Korma to Vindaloo and back down with a glass of milk. It's fine.
Yeah, Frosty 10, I think definitely the star player. After Jared had some beautiful moments outside, it's been Frosty 10 that's been anchoring this A site and these B site retakes. Frosty 10 having a beautiful game so far, 28 and 15.
We've run out of tech, so we've gone for a tech.
We've gone for a tech. I think that's breaking the rules, guys.
Yeah.
If anyone's called that tech, and that's not for a tech, that is against the rules. And how many pauses can one have in a game?
Apparently. I mean, I work CCT, so unlimited is the answer to your question there.
We had the tech pause at the start.
Yeah.
We've had 8 tech pauses.
Well, we had 2 tech pauses at the start, technically.
2 tech pauses at the start. 8 tech pauses. A tech pause again. This must be breaking some records. Someone call up Guinness. There's something going on here.
I wouldn't mind a Guinness, to be fair. That'd be nice.
You can have one after the game, Steve.
Oh, cheers, Sarah, you Charimer. But yeah, Chucklestorm in a winning position, very much now with those 2 CT-sided rounds. I feel like in order to close this and not go to a tie, they need all 3.
Yes, genetexe showed some beautiful stuff on their CT side, and
I mean, with max cash, I think it would be even more prominent.
That's the thing. Their economy was damaged quite heavily by Chucklestorm strikers over the course of that first half.
Yep.
Going into an overtime with full cash, that's not what you want to see when you're on that T side. And I feel like Chucklestorm, if they can secure this third one, they've then got 3 opportunities. Yes, they messed up on the first time when they were 12-11. They had that chance to close out the game. They're going to have 3 opportunities. Surely they don't mess it up 3 times in a row, especially with the way Goku, Jared, and Frosty 10 have been playing. One of them's going to have a monster round at some point.
Sure, but don't you jinx it.
No,
don't you jinx
I'm not jinxing it. The caster curse does not, and also with production just told us that tech issues are unknown. So they're some form of Pokemon.
In your imagination.
No, yeah, that as well. Just imagine your tech pause, and that's probably correct.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've had water spillages. My favourite one from Epic 37, someone punched a hole through their monitor. And so we had an extended tech pause.
Oh, they replaced the monitor.
I think they stole one off a friend for the rest of the matchup. I can't remember who it was, so I won't just throw names out there.
And then drove down to the, or maybe, I don't know if any of our sponsors have a spare monitor lying around. Do overclockers have just like monitors lying around here that you can buy if you punch a hole in your monitor?
I'm sure there's some knocking around, but on a selfish note, I mean, the longer this game goes on, the more homeless I look. Because I'm sweating under these lights and like my hair is it's gone frizzy. That's how long we've been sitting here through tech pause after tech pause after tech pause, and yeah, I don't know if We will
eventually see the culmination of this game and finally get to see what the matchups are going to look like in the bracket stage. Because of course, I think this is the last match. In fact,
it's the last best of 1. Then we have a best of 3, and we don't know who's up next in the best of 3. We can take some educated guesses, perhaps?
Yeah, well, I think I can have a look and see the other groups and how they're doing,
sure.
Because some of the groups may have already ended their...
ended their games, ended their 7 matches.
Games. So, the moment in the group stage, it's looking like Granny Knockers but good have played all 7 of their games and won 6. So, they're pretty cemented, it looks like. Yep. 4 in our disposal actually have a chance to catch up with them. So, those are going to be the top 2 in... Group A. Group B, it's K10 and Soulsland, 100%, that's set in stone.
Yep.
I Need More Bullets did actually win 6 of their games. There's been a weird upset circle there, but I think based off that round difference, yeah, it's going to be Soulsland Seed 2, K10 Seed 1 coming out of Group B. If we look at Group C, Ross, Kemp, Bold are in with a chance of being the 2nd seed out of that group, depending upon the results of the Bold, the Gothic, and the Squid Nose, which is a wonderful team name. But that's a Link, Soulcast, and On-Screens team there. And yeah, obviously this match here for Group D is pretty much the decider. Nobody else is in with a chance at 6 wins. So it's all on this. And to be fair, if the overtime gets drawn, I believe we can have a look and see the round difference. It's 36 for Chucklestorm, 28 for genetexe. So we're looking at a Chuckles. If this goes to the full distance, 16-16, is it? No, 15-15.
15-15, then Chucklestorm
will win based off of the round difference.
However, they also are 2 rounds up on their CT side of overtime. Yep. So it is, what, 14-12? 14-12 right now. 2 more round wins. They take the 2 points. There's no contention. There's no issues, no round count.
And if they win 1 more, they've won it.
And then, yeah. But because if they lose...
Well, all they need to do is win 1 round of the next 4, and they cannot lose because based off round difference and off the overtime, there is no scenario in which they do not go through.
No pressure for genetexe.
So genetexe, even if you think like, oh well, it's OT, as long as they need to get 3 of the next 4, doesn't matter. You can't lose any of these rounds, otherwise you're out because the round diff is against you.
On that note, we are going live into the game. We're back into the action. 3rd round of our first and only overtime. It's still Chucklestorm Strikers with a hefty buy on that CT side.
The double towards ramp is to be expected with how the rounds have been going so far towards this ramp. But genetexe, they're not leaning towards it too heavily. As I say that, 3 people starting to walk in. They're gambling. Misses the shot on the AWP though. That's not ideal. Gonna start backing off. Actually, he rotated back.
That's played almost poorly by Chucklestorm on the ramp there. They should have gotten at least a kill.
They've got 2 players down on B. 1 towards control. 1 player is actually playing in this dark position. Kika's got down outside. I don't know if that's been calmed. This person in control could be in big, big trouble. If they decide to re-exec onto A as well, Kika can go up the vent.
If Kika goes up the vent, that
It's
just
looking
adds
like
an
A.
extra layer to the offensive. Kika just making sure there's nobody watching them. However, top of hut could have a good idea. Oh, their gun is blocking their view. They're not going to be able to see this as Frosty now sees the first man running on out. Uro actually gets the opener, but Tom and stop it as they enter the site. Find one apiece, and genetexe, they cling on if they win this round. So much relies on genetexe winning this round.
Tom on 1 HP. I think we've seen about 4 people be on 1 HP in this game so far. Jared's gone. It's a 2v4. A lot of pressure on Frosty and Godku here.
It's the 1 HP player getting the nade kill as well, not the other way around as Kika swings Frosty. It's Godku in the 1v4, and it's not looking like it's going to come into fruition. BMez, lovely swing, and that is only BMez's 7th kill of the game, and we're in overtime.
He is struggling, but it does not matter. 13-14 the scoreline now. Obviously, Chucklestorm still only need to win 1 round to guarantee themselves into that upper bracket. It's been the highlight, I think, of the group stage, this match so far. Excellent, excellent play from both these teams. But I think it basically hinges on if Chucklestorm can manage just to scrape 1 round out of this T-Hop. It's going to be difficult, but if they can, then their ticket to upper bracket is secured. Goku going to be peeking on towards outside. Actually, Beam is very concerned that could be a rush towards that vent area. The smoke nade and the flash did come through, so not going to be able to tell based off audio if anyone's dropped down yet.
Tom waiting very patiently at the back of this A-bomb site though. Whips out a smoke, but yeah, stop it to the prime position. There's Tom, not as much anymore, but still keeps him at bay. That's the important part here. Chucklestorm, you can tell from this, they are nervous.
Well, Stop It's about to come up out of sequence. We're looking towards Jared and Godku outside. Could be a big, big play about to come up off number 4, Stop It here. But actually, they're expecting that player to be there. He's been forced off. And it's all going to be about this A-Rap.
Oh, Frosty. This could be huge. If Frosty just clears the close left angle, and this round starts to fall apart a bit, but it's actually Jared to find the opener here. Kika and Tom, instantaneous trades. Tom another, as it's all falling apart for Chucklestorm. Tom charging down in towards Hut, picks up an AK for good measure as Jared and Urop have it all to do, and it is heavily unfavorable as Tom has 31 kills.
Monstrous game from there, but not ready for Jared to walk up, and actually Jared could find more. Gill shuts it down. Rob's managed to get down onto B somehow. Okay. Gonna be able to get the plant. Oh, no, sorry. I did not realise Stop It was right above him there. Not able to get the plant. genetexe equalizes and...
Element of surprise.
Well, the thing is here, because of the full cash situation, of course, there's no scenario in overtime where you're ever going to be worried about the money scenario on the T side. So they're going to be buying this round and next. But the game starting to feel like it's slipping away from Chucklestorm strikers.
Yeah.
It's 1 round into OT, but they just need the 1 win to get it. They've only got 2 rounds to do it.
In the words of Dua Lipa, 1 round is all it takes.
One round is all it takes. And she is a wise woman.
It's Godku. An impressive AWPer as well. I can tell you're getting sick and tired of these pop culture references.
I'm loving it.
Are you loving it like this?
No.
Oh, there we go. He's getting the hang of it now. He's outdoing me as Chucklestorm strikers again need the 1 round to outdo genetexe. Tom, again, on the back of A. He's got a nice crossfire with his A main player. There's a bit of outside presence right now for Chucklestorm. That will be the likes of Godku. But BMez now. BMez ready and waiting for this eventuality. Excuse me, it's Jared. The numbers on the bottom, not the top. As he peers around that corner, there is support as well. There is a player all the way back in CT that will be Stop It, but they have left their position as Kika now pressured on ramp. But they're slow walking it with a Molotov. The Molotov is perfectly placed, and Chucklestorm now have full ramp control.
Molly actually hit him as well, forced him to leave the angle early because the tag from the Molly slows him, and the actual burning would mean he would die if he'd stayed even for a couple of seconds there to hold it down. We were very aware there could be a player here, and the time ticking down. Someone's got to make a move, and it's got to be Chucklestorm. It's got to be quick as well. P coming out. Goku's got to find this player out wide on towards Silo.
Okay, Uron finds a kill towards CT Spawn, realizes that there's a man in heaven!
Kika!
That's perfect! Kika goes down, Tom as well! Frosty brings this into a 3v1, but there's only 10 seconds! Bomb needs to go down, and it will in the nick of time! Gil does not swing the corner, can't go for the wall
He
bang.
has to win this.
He needs to win the 1v3, or it's all over!
It's all over!
Chucklestorm Strikers will be making it to the playoffs!
That is incredible stuff. They waited, they played the long game, they let the time burn down, and then Rob, you see where he was killing the player in orange. CT Spawn died to him, and the player above Heaven, Kika, then started to panic, stood on top of the ladder with an AWP. No chance of winning that duel, gets completely destroyed, and that just opens up this A site to be taken by the remaining Chucklestorm players. And genetexe, they might be able to draw this game, but they have been knocked down to that lower bracket based off of the round difference. Chucklestorm going to be feeling pretty happy about that one.
And it's not a big round difference either.
No, it's about 11 or 12. And to pull this into context, when genetexe played Raptors first in their group, they got 13-0'd. When Chucklestorm played them, Chucklestorm managed 7 rounds against Raptors. So that's really where the core of this round difference has emerged in that round there. And
but let's not let that distract us from the fact this could still be a tied game. We got to give them credit where credit. Well, now less credit where credit is due. Jared has just decapitated Tom, who had 31 kills. Gil is dead as well. It's down to Kika. And I feel like that's the kicker.
That was beautiful. That was a beautiful phrase, and what a beautiful game. Chucklestorm, they don't need to rely on round difference as they take the game 16-14, CSGO style, as they deliver in OT an absolute scorcher. What an incredible series that was. However, 10 timeouts, 11 timeouts, all the techs, all the tacks, and then an incredible game from them. That's why I was so excited to see this game at the end of the day. What a way to round out the group stage.
No, that was a really thrilling nuke. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. That is by far one of the best matches we've had on the A stream today. Super tight-knit and so much on the line. If that had gone one round different, we could have been seeing a different team making it through to that playoffs bracket, in the upper bracket at the very least. That is a safety net. It is a massive safety net. Extra chances and a lifeline. Better seeding as well. But on that note, thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's the first time we've worked together, and I've had a lot of fun. Put it there.
Thank you very much, Sneaky. Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, and that's the wraps it up for the group stage. There's going to be a break, I believe, now, and then we're going to be heading on over to the quarters, which will be covered by Index and Timo, who will be back with you to cover. I believe they're in the upper quarters, but we don't yet know who's going to be in it. We'll work it out, and you'll be updated on the stream at some point about who that's going to be. But that's enough. Me and Sneaky are done, and we will probably be back on tomorrow. But make sure you catch the quarters game in about an hour, I think it is.
Something like that,
7:30 is the plan. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. See you at 7:30.
Awesome, man. That was good
great.
Fun.
That felt really good.
Oh, no, thank you for joining me. You even joined in on the puns. That's my...
Well, you gotta. It's not casting if you're not having fun and joking around. Oh my goodness. I knew that was going to be a banger game. That's what I said at the
Hello, Overclockers. Welcome. Screw this. Where's A-Pack when you need him?